Good evening. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up for Monday, the 26th of February, 2024. Well, if you've listened to my other videos, I'm telling you, Chicago, 70 degrees today, February 26th. Tied a record or broke a record, and we're supposed to be warm again tomorrow. I went out today. People are in flip-flops, T-shirts, shorts. It's like a summer day outside. Everybody's out. It was pretty crazy, actually. What isn't so crazy is the stock market seems to be finally at a point where maybe there's a consolidation phase going to happen. Somewhere along the line, that is going to be what takes place. It doesn't have to break a lot after this rally, but it needs to probably consolidate a bit. We have a lot of economic data this week. We've got all kinds. We got at the latter part of the week, the PCE indices that'll give us the inflation readings. They've already been discounted that they're going to be up 0.4 or so, and the market is saying it doesn't matter. It was the bump the Fed was looking for. We're going to get a first revision of GDP this week. We get manufacturing PMIs coming out this week. We get unemployment claims. We have an awful lot, all right? It's the end of the month, beginning of the new month, and there'll be a lot there. But what a month it has been. I mean, you know, if you look at the stock, NVIDIA, unbelievable to the upside. I mean, $800 just sort of hanging in there right now. Amazon. Okay, Amazon went into the Dow today. It replaced Walgreens. And it's been rallying up on it. I was telling my clients against the 175.80 level, basically. I thought that that would be a resistance point, and it turned out to be one. And we had been talking about it in the morning subscriber and video and the weekend video. ARK up is Coinbase had a great day today, up quite a bit in percentages, but obviously she has missed her big calling in NVIDIA, and that's what she's supposed to do, be able to call those. When we look across the board, we saw the automakers a little bit better today as we're saying things. Lyft has still got problems. It's no Uber, and I made that clear to you recently. Metal markets are sort of stalled right here, but gold is trying to act stronger than the silver market, and I think copper could pull back a little bit as China's come back. I've had some people asking me to cover Baidu. As you know, it's a Chinese company that engages in internet search, online marketing solutions, blah, blah. It's not popular in America by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a market that came down, had some gaps in it, went back up, filled them, and it probably has seen the worst behind it, I would say, on that type of chart. When I look at the chart action, we have a higher high, but a lower low. Nothing that I'm seeing exciting there. Supports all the way back at the 106.38 level, and the resistance is right here. The first challenge of the 100-day average at 112.67 and the Bollinger Band. It got for 2 days over that band, and it's got thrown back. These Bollinger Bands are so darn important. Example, you get under them, I warn traders, don't get caught into that emotional trap. You generally get a bounce back into them, and if you get over them, don't get caught up in that emotional trap. You typically have a chance, if you want back in those bands. And I see this in market upon market. If you want to learn about it, you go to our website at iraepstein.com under education. It's called the Enhanced Bollinger Band course. There's also a icon up here. All you got to do if you're on your PC, give that a click, it'll take you there. When I take a look at the momentum, it's overbought. So I think the market spent a lot of energy. I think it's trying to develop some sideways action for the people that wanted me to give them a coverage on it. And I thought this was a good week to do this, as we can move on to other things next week when we see more. And Lyft still looks like, the question is, does it want to go all the way back to this point? It had a heck of a run-up. I think you could say you've made a breakout from this base, Getting back under these lows here, let's say the $12 level, is going to be very difficult. So I think you're going to see value pickers try to come in around that 14.5 level if it gets down there. I don't know that it will or won't. But the trend is down, the bias is up, and that's the support zone. And I'm starting to get interested in gasoline. I mean, it is going to be March on Friday. People will start talking about spring driving, the demand for it, the maintenance work being done at the refineries, and how you start converting over and you start looking for the summer demand and spring demand. And I'm wondering, is the market already doing that at the 65.38 level and saying, okay, that's where we're going to fight a battle for direction? In the financial services, no, I would never tell a client to buy over a Bollinger Band. You had a big key reversal. Now, it's also an outside day, but a key reversal happens when you make the highest high of a move, and that most certainly is the highest high, and it happens to also take out the prior day's low. It's an outside day, but it has more importance. Now, if you take out that high, we'll see how far you can go. I don't think very far since you're over the upper band. Are we embedded or are we trying to embed? Well, both numbers were over 80 today. Both numbers on Friday were over 80 and the day before. So how I look at it is on this break, if you don't get the red line under 79, the market's going to find buying support and try to go back to the Bollinger Band. If it loses that, I think you're going back to wherever that 18-day average is, and we have a short-term top in place. In the industrial sector, still an embedded reading. You see that you be it the Dallas Fed or other different manufacturing sectors that we're looking at, there's improvement going on. And that's what people want to see. So on pullbacks, I still consider this a buy mode, but I certainly would tell you against Bollinger Band to take some money off the top, but it still looks bullish. And I'm down to an area of very big importance in AMC. I think it's fighting now for the 435 area to be an area of importance on the chart. I seriously doubt you're getting back under that low, as I told you. The good movies start now. I think Dune comes out, and we'll see if that draws big. If it's a flop, there's a real problem for AMC. This has got the buzz where it's supposed to be a big movie. We will find out. If you take out 428, we'll see if there's any follow through from that. But I think the 435 area is about all that I was looking for on the pullback. That doesn't mean it's a buy yet, but this is the support area finally. In the consumer discretionary, overbought against an upper Bollinger Band. And each time you've been here, you've gotten a bit of a break out of that. We'll see if we're going to get that again. In the home builders, so we see the home numbers are not super strong. If you're looking at new home sales and average prices and where you're at there, it's not really good. Guys, it was January's numbers we were looking at. Dead of winter in most of the Midwest, the East Coast, Upper East Coast. How many people are going out looking at homes at that time? So you get this warmer weather, and then they start coming out. But we are seeing that other than a Pulte, when you come to the home builders, those that aren't the $1 million, but let's say 400,000 and under homes, they don't have a logbook that's as strong. And there's a question as to even if Pulte's logbook is starting to shrink a bit. I mean, that's the impact of high mortgage rates in part. And XLE, the energy, I still am bullish overall. The market's got resistance at the upper Bollinger Band. I'd certainly not tell you to buy it there. It is overbought. But I think overall, the energy market still has a bullish tone to it. Big supports 84.5 to 84.66. In the gold market, if gold's going to be good, it should not get back under the right here, the 187.05 area. If it does, it's going to spin around a bit more, in my opinion. It is overbought. It's very hard to buy an overbought market, in my opinion. Silver has no trend. It's just gone from the lower Bollinger Band to the upper band. I mean, classic what I teach. I must tell you, if I had to pick a chart and say this teaches you what I talk about in my course, it's right there. And just in the middle of no man's land. In the copper market, so copper's pulling back is everybody's waiting, and it starts with me. The Chinese told us when they had their Congress, if you'll remember, that they were going to enact in March some new economic plans. Well, it's going to be March on Friday. We will see what those plans are. We had the lunar holiday. You lost demand for copper during it as the Chinese returned back a week ago Friday. The market rallied up, hit its key moving average, 200 week, and it's coming back towards the 18. Is it trending? It is not. It has a higher high and a lower low. BND, difficult market to want to go into the PCE with, don't you think? I do. I think it'd be too difficult. The dollar is back down to support at the 18-day average of closes. A bit bearish, if anything. Lower highs, lower lows closed under it, but very oversold suddenly, and you're getting overbought in FXE, so I'd be a little bit careful with that one. You put it all together, you try to come up with a game plan, and that's what we try to do right here. And if you join me in my morning subscriber videos, wow, we've had a pretty good time in the ETFs, I must tell you. I'm got a big thumbs up for the month of February. It's been very, very good. But if you'd like to learn more about my technique and Bollinger Bands, which I teach it in a unique way. You're not going to find this somewhere on the internet. It's completely different how I go about it. And the way I use stochastics with it and how I tie everything together. Well, all you need to do is move your cursor up here, watch this ad, and at any point you can do that. IraEpstein.com under the word education. Take care. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein on the road to your education.